Today's question. I keep catching the voice of the ego mind, and I am able to remain conscious. But there is a persistent thought that keeps coming, which says, what now? What's next? You see, this is very common thought to have, because the conditioned mind has been programmed by society to always want something more. It has been programmed to perceive that it is lacking something, that it is not enough. I remember when I was at school, there were two main questions that was asked. One was, what do you want to do when you grow up? And the other was, what do you want to be when you grow up? And these two questions might seem harmless enough, but actually they imply that this moment is not enough right now, and that you are not enough. And this underpins the whole of society, because society is trying to get you to chase the next relationship, the next meal, the next possession, the next holiday or vacation, the next dose of entertainment, status, trying to become something in the world. And then even social media. Social media creates a false perception of people's lives. And then the conditioned mind looks at that and may say, I wish I was living that life. I wish I was like that. I wish I was like them. Then this even can be translated into what you might call spiritual circles or pursuits or realization. This idea that you must become like a saintly being. You must become this image of an enlightened being, of a perfect being. And really, they're all lies. They're all illusions. They're all wrong ideas. Because that natural intelligence that is there is completely unique. Cannot be the same as anything else. So to try to be like anything else is futile and only destroys the uniqueness that is already present. To try to live through any idea is futile, because life is not an idea. You are not an idea. So you can't live through an idea. You see, what we call spirituality or self-realization, there is much knowledge which are ideas. But an idea is like only there to remove another idea, a material idea, a societal idea. Like you can take a thorn, you can remove a thorn with a thorn, but when you remove the thorn with the thorn, you throw both thorns away. So when you remove one idea with another idea, you throw them both away, because you can't live through an idea. You're not an idea. Life is not an idea. That only keeps somebody in the mind, in that conditioned mind. And if someone is in the conditioned mind, they are not with life itself. They don't directly experience life. They overlook life. They overlook what they are. And they can't see the fulfillment, the fullness of this moment, of what they are. Because they have this idea in the background, this conditioned idea that says, what next? What now? Is this it? This can't be it. I must become something more. I must become greater. I must become something for the world. I must become this kind of altruistic, humanitarian being that is serving so many people. I must become this image of a spiritual being. But it's all an illusion. It's just an idea, a false, wrong idea that is not natural to that unique expression right there. You can't be it. You cannot be it because you cannot live through that idea. You will never live up to an idea because then you will never be natural. You will never be what you are. It is like someone saying, I want you to practice being yourself. Try to be yourself. The more you try to be yourself, the more you practice being yourself, the more you will not be yourself. The more you will be artificial. Just like the centipede that is walking naturally and is able to put one leg behind the other in perfect time in 100 legs. But the moment the centipede starts thinking about it, how do I do that? How do I put this leg behind this leg and this leg behind this leg in this timing? It's going to start tripping up, you see. So when you live through the mind, when you live through these conditioned ideas, you trip up. You trip up, living through an illusion. So society is given these false ideas. Social media gives these false ideas. Even spirituality gives false ideas, ideas that might be a little bit more in alignment with the truth, but ultimately still an idea that must be dropped. If that idea cannot be dropped, if you always think something has to be more, that you have to become more, then you can't really be what you are. You can't appreciate this moment. You can't even see this moment as it is. You can't be with this. So you won't feel that fullness. You won't feel that wholeness. You will feel you are lacking something. And so this idea is often in the back of the mind, and it plagues the mind and plagues the one that is identified with the mind. They suffer it because they can never be truly satisfied. They feel dissatisfied. They feel restless. It's always about the future. And the future is always in the mind. Time is always in the mind. The past is always in the mind. But this instant right now, even beyond the idea or concept of the present, is not in the mind. The mind is in it. So drop the idea that you should become something more, or that life should bring something more. And then you will be able to enjoy the play of what is already present and happening here and now.